I don't blame anybody. I don't blame anybody because I don't know what they come from. Like you said,
Right,
I don't blame nobody. I just accept the situation for what it is.
Right.
And then it's a matter of what I can do after this.
Yes.
Right? This is who he is. This is what it is. What can I do about it? My whole problem, the reason why you said because you keep manifesting them.
You keep talking about him every episode.
Because I believe part of my purpose is to help them.
Right.
I think when I was working at the Source, one of the reasons I wanted to do the Unsigned Hype so bad is because I wanted to find the next guy. You know what I mean? That was part of my thing. I wanted to find that guy. I only got frustrated because I'm talking to your dumbass and you ain't him. And you in the way. And you made me think you was him.
Right.
And you are absolutely terrible. You don't listen. You hard-headed. You want to do what you want to do. You in the way. And you're taking my time from getting to the DMX.
Who's him though?
DMX is him.
And
DMX was in the Unsigned Hype. He was one of the main Unsigned Hype alumni.
And that's another 10 he's going to meet this week.
Yeah, probably. Ray, bring him on. Because as long as I get through to them to get to the guy, I think Sha Summers is the guy.
I totally believe that.
I think Sha Summers is the guy. You know how many dudes I had to, you know how many MCs I had to, how many demos I had to throw out to get to Sha Summers? I've been doing this show for how long? How long have you talked to me about how many demos have you thrown out? And I'm always like 5 or 6, 6 or 7, 7 or 8, just to find this one guy.
Yeah.
Now in 2023, I just find this guy.
Yo, we're gonna clip that out. Free promo.
No, but even on this show, I've discovered other talent that I've mentioned.
Right.
The dudes who we had on the drop. Coast Contra.
Yeah.
Them dudes.
Coastal Contra.
Homeboy who sat in with us, who was going Simba's one. You did what I mean?
Simba.
You gotta go through all these dudes to find that one guy.
Yeah.
You don't hear about all them dudes. You only hear about the one guy, but the one guy didn't fall out of the sky. You had to go find him.
Yeah, now that one guy that you talking about, how were you able to find like 5 of them?
Word.
You know what it is? Because you have to know what artists you can work. See, it's not the artist. The artist is going to do what you tell them. You got to have the eyes and the ears for them. They just know how to rap. Rapping, they know how to rap. You can give them any beat, they're going to rap. You got to be. What worked for me was that I was a CEO, but I was an A&R. I had an ear. So I could be like, nah. That's not the flow. You got to navigate while they in the booth, because they just going to rhyme. You got to be like, nah, don't say that. Use your upper tone. Flow like this. If you ain't doing all that and they doing it, they probably just gonna do the basics. So you gotta kind of know how to work the artist, because it's different songs for different tones for different flows.
Right.
So you gotta do that and be there with them. And then once they trust you, they're not gonna give you no wrath. They just believe in you. You gotta make them believe in you like you believe in them. If y'all don't believe in each other, then it's probably not gonna work.
True.
So did you put Swizz Beatz with DMX?
You know what? Swizz popped up because Swizz was in Atlanta. Swizz is from the Bronx.
Right.
So what happened was he was in the Bronx, and he was in the Bronx, but then he went to Atlanta for a little while. And then he came back, and we were dealing with X, and then they connected from there. Right. But, we was in the studio, he being there, Grease being there, PK being there, a lot of producers are being there. And he was just, when Swizz came, at that time, he was just really he was learning how to do all this beat stuff. And, but, Grease kind of knew, PK knew, and Swizz knew what he was doing a little bit because he was DJing first. And then he went to making beats, and then he just elevated with beats real quick because he would stay with me when he came back from there, but he would never leave the studio. I leave, he come home, he might come 3 days later, he's sleeping in the studio. He was very persistent on being successful at making beats. He would never come home.
Absorbing everything.
He just took it, he got it. And when he got it and it clicked, because so he used to give us beats and I'd be like, nah, that ain't it right there, don't worry about that. He went through that for forever. No, that's not it. Every morning I get up, he'd be like, here's 10 beats. I'd be like, yeah, here's 10 beats, you can take those back. And then he'd go, and then after a while, you'd be like, okay, you almost got it. Then he just started getting it. you know, because he was working so hard that he was bound to get it because he was working. He put the work in. Didn't nobody give it to him.
Right.
He put the work in.
Did you encourage Swizz not to sample?
I mean, I ain't really say nothing to him about sampling. He kind of probably did that himself because I wouldn't care if you sample or not. Just give me the beat, man. I'll deal with that later. My job is to finish the album. I don't care what beat you do, who you sample. Give it to me, make the song. Let them deal with that when we get down the road. So, you know, see, the good part about that is if it's a sample and you give me a beat, once I got the verse, I can put another beat up under it. I just move a beat and figure another beat, I'll make another one and put it right up under it. All I need is the verse. The beats can be replaced 10 times.
Right.
The verse is the problem. So once I give him a verse, I give him a beat. It might not be a beat that we keep, but we got the verse already. So I don't care. I just put another beat up under there.
The goal is to finish the song.
That's it. There you go.
I got
we need 15, 16 songs. That's all we need.
So was Ruff Ryder Anthem the biggest record ever of that label?
It probably was the biggest record on that label on the takeoff, because that's when we came in with the bikes. We set the tone when nobody was doing it at that time. So we had bikes, we had the streets. You know, we just had a close attachment with the streets, and we was from the streets, so it was easy for us. It wasn't like we was niggas talk about they from the street and they puffing. That's what they say, but we was from there. We coming from there to do something, to transition over to do something positive. We was really in the street. Right. So all we did was the people that was with us supported us, and they wanted to help us to do good. So everybody supported us. So
who came up with Ruff Ryders?
My brother came up with Ruff Ryders. My brother and I think my mother, because she said they was looking at a cowboy movie one night, and you know it's Black Ruff Ryders. You know if you ever they seen it on that. He told me they seen it on a late night TV show. And it was called the Black Ruff Ryders.
Right.
Something like the Ruff Ryders, but it was all black cowboys.
Right.
And that's where they got the idea from right there.
So was there any pushback like, nah, yo, this condom's named Ruff Ryders?
No, it wasn't, it was, I mean, we went through a little bit because somebody else had the name and we had to go through a different, you know, we had to go back and forth and stuff like that.
Change the spelling.
Yeah, you had to change this and change that. Still Ruff Ryders, but we had a different impact, you know. So it worked for us, and they still got it too, but we still had it.
When did you put the crew together? Because, you know, right now, Mace and the Locks on Bad Boy. DMX is now here. We haven't gotten into Eve yet, but somehow, some way, all these pieces came together under one umbrella, which was Ruff Ryders as a label, not just
Was it in Mace that brought Eve to Ruff Ryders?
Yeah, Mace discovered Eve in the strip club.
You know how we met Eve? I met Eve. See, I was doing the A&R, so they got bringing it out here. Eve had a deal with Dre. She was signed to Dre at that time with Jimmy Iovine.
Wow.
Over there, yeah. So she had a deal over there, and Dre and them was working it, but they wasn't really able to. I guess some people you can work with, some you can't. It doesn't matter how big of a producer you are. He just wasn't able to make it work for her.
Right.
So I was doing a deal with Jimmy, with probably X, the Locks, and other artists. And he was like, "Here, you could take. You know what? I got a girl." I said, "All right, let me see her. Send it to her." He sent her from Cali back over here to New York. We got a video. In the studio, and we started vibing. And I was like, "We can work with her," because you know you just gotta. At that point, it's on you to know what you can work. If you're an A&R, I'm an A&R, so I know what I can make happen. I'll be like, I can't work this project. He told me you can work. I said, I can work her. He gave it to me, and I just worked it. You know, I just had to keep working her until she got it. Because, you know, she was still not seasoned yet. She was just a good rapper. She had the energy. She was good, but it took a little minute, and then she got it. Eventually, she got it. So.
Find her zone.
Yeah, she had to find her.
So I just heard that you said, if I can work her, cool. Who were the people you turned down? Who were the people you said, nah, I don't know if I can do this?
I mean, there's probably a lot of artists that I probably turned down from working.
See?
Yeah.
Not just me.
Yeah, but he ain't sitting here talking every episode about it. Not doing that.
He's not here on every episode.
I ain't even hear it.
He was here every episode. You hear it.
Right. So you don't remember anyone specifically that you was like, I passed on that,
Let me
but
see
then
what I
it
had.
became this.
Well, I didn't pass on him. I just couldn't. I had my son, but I didn't pass on him. He just couldn't do nothing.
You
Well, I
got
passed
locked
on. My son was good too.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get him at that time.
He was on Violator.
Yeah, he was on another. He was working with on Violators. I think.
Yeah.
Chris
shout,
Ryder.
shout out to Eric Nicks.
Yeah.
Shout
Chris,
out to Eric Nicks.
God bless his dad.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, but it was I'm trying to think of for the top because I was too busy trying to stay focused on them. I wasn't really entertaining. You don't want to take too many because then it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just work with this right here. This is enough. If they did come, I wouldn't even recognize them because I had to finish this right here. I had to make sure I deliver these albums. So I just stayed on to the 5 that I knew that I could work real quick, and I put a lot of time in. And I really paid attention to different artists. I just had to stay focused on the artists that we was working on.
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.